Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-Super Bowl edition of the Ozone. I want to talk about the absolutely, positively biggest collapse in Super Bowl history, maybe even in football history.
I was going to Super Bowl.
I
that's
mean,
period.
in sport, this is
a 28-point. Come on,
folks. For any of you guys out there who play Madden, 21-0 is a skunk. You got to get your ass up off the sticks if I got you 21-0.
21-0, it's over.
21-0 means
Lights
you can't
out.
come back.
That's James Toney.
The lights out, asleep. and the oh my God. The Atlanta Falcons found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. In the words of my man Miles, unbelievable, folks. Now, I got an interesting take on it because I don't want to hear, everybody knows how much I love Tom Brady. I mean, he's the man. He just, I talked about it on the last edition of the Ozone with Trucker Dave, who's waiting in the wings here, folks, because he's a big New England supporter. But I talked with him about it, and I said, now, do we have to recognize Tom Brady as the greatest of all time if he wins this fifth Super Bowl? And he was quick to caution, hey, don't get caught up don't become a prisoner of the moment, as they say, by saying, hey, this guy, that guy, you got to compare eras, you got to compare their game. And one thing that's happening right now, in my opinion, is everybody is a prisoner of the moment. Walking up here to record in the booth, the security guard just told me, man, that was the greatest Super Bowl I ever seen.
Everybody says that.
How was the greatest? It was a blowout.
Come on.
The game was a blowout. It was a tale of two halves, and it wasn't even really a tale of two halves. It was a tale of 2.5 quarters to 1.5 quarters. And, the game really, you could have went up and ate all the wings you wanted to for a good portion of the game because it just wasn't interesting. I thought it was an extremely gutsy call to defer because, that showed me that Dan Quinn was really, really confident about his football team. Right. And he wanted to show the defense his confidence in them to say, hey, look, go out there and shut Tom Brady down. Show them what these Atlanta Falcons are really about. And they went out there and they did that. They got Tom Brady, I think it was a 3-and-out the first go-around. Matty Ice came out with the offense, and Matt Ice looked frightened.
So did Tom Brady.
Tom Brady didn't look frightened. He just looked like there wasn't anything open. Matt Ice looked frightened. Like he came out and the lights. No, not at the beginning of the game. Eventually he got there, but he didn't look scared at the beginning of the game. He didn't look scared at the beginning of the game. Beginning of the game, Tom Brady came out. He looked around. He looked like he was like, oh, okay, these guys are a little bit faster than I expected them to be. All right, let's figure out how I'm going to make this adjustment, make that adjustment. But there was nothing there. I'm talking about the very first drive.
Uh-huh.
Then Matty Ice gets the ball, looks confused. Devontae Freeman came out to set the tone. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone run harder. Like, he looked like he was going to put a hole in the turf. He was running. He was stomping
That's
so hard.
Style.
And it was very reminiscent of beast mode, to be honest. Very powerful back, And Matt Ice looked confused. He took a sack. So then Matty Ice, for everybody, I know you guys watched the game, but I'm going to tell you from my perspective. Matty Ice wakes up, realizes Julio Jones is on his team, and realistically, the route is on. At this point, they're working on, he looks like the MVP. They're working on all cylinders. They got it popping. We're talking about flats out to Devontae Freeman, pitches. It looked like the 98 Broncos. They were just doing the toss and the pitch. It was just fundamental sweet power football, pulling guards and tackles and the whole nine. It was so impressive. It was sexy football. And then you keep everybody honest with Julio Jones, who made 2 of the most spectacular catches that I've ever seen.
Yeah, forget about just Super Bowl.
The ball, that was a pick. That ball was behind him.
Sounds good.
It was a pick, and Julio Jones took the ball out of the defender's hands and said, that's mine. I need that. I need that first down.
With a couple of guys draped on him.
Just on the drapes. Man, they were unbelievable. And so they start rocking and rolling. They score. Okay, the monkey is off their back. Oh, yeah, we are a good team as well. Let's get busy. So they do it. Life is good. Everything's rolling 14-0. Tom Brady shows up. The Tom Brady shows up. The one, the man, the myth, the legend, shows up and starts moving the pill. And I actually like this theory. If you watch and see what happened, the Atlanta defense it was part of their design to allow Tom Brady to get yards. It wasn't their design to let him score. And what was very interesting was, even in the first half, he moved the ball. And then he threw the pick six. He would not be able to convert on third down. They got pressure from the front four without blitzing. And suddenly Tom Brady has the happy feet. I mean, he's missing Edelman. Those guys are dropping passes. The Patriots look like a mediocre regular team. So I don't want to hear all of this greatest of all time nonsense, because when everybody put on their Instagram the picture of Tom Brady with his head down after he threw the pick six, everybody was ragging on him and everybody was talking about his support of Donald Trump and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So I don't really want to hear this from all of the front running fans about how great he is, because he is. Nobody's ever heard me down talk Tom Brady. He is great.
Terrific.
Forget about it. I always said that he was either 1A or 1B when it came to greatest of all time. But what he showed me in that first half is he definitely was 1B, because Joe Montana plays perfect football in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Literally perfect football. He doesn't turn the ball over. You're not getting a chance.
And he doesn't lose.
So, all right, I digress. Even with that, he throws a pick six. They go up 21-0. He marches a little bit. They get 21-3 at the half. You're thinking, ooh, here comes the adjustments, blah, 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 blah. The Falcons come out, put up another touch on them. Put up another touch like it's nothing. 28-3. This is when everybody turned the TV. This is when everybody decided to start eating wings. It was the ranch blue cheese dressing going all over everybody's lips and shirts. The stains were popping off. The game was a laugher. And then the unthinkable happened. The Atlanta Falcons ran the ball a total of 4 times for the rest of the game. They took no clock off, and possession after possession, they went 3 and out. They would use no clock whatsoever.
They didn't go to Julio Jones.
They refused to throw the ball to Julio Jones,
which is always
a bad decision.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then we got to analyze all of the different stuff that they did to lose that game. They did everything possible to lose that game. You have to do everything wrong to blow a 28-3 lead.
ESPN stats says that it was a 99.1% chance of the Patriots coming back in that game, something like that.
No, it was a 99.1% chance of them losing that game.
Yeah,
it was the Atlanta Falcons had a 99.1% chance of winning that game when they were up 28-3 with 8 minutes and 31 seconds left. But instead, they decided to keep the defense out there forever. I mean, the defense, what can you really expect? I'm not even really mad at the defense, to be honest.
You have to be mad at the coaches. The coaches let them down.
Gotta be mad at the coaches.
First of all, you recognize that they got tired. So if they get tired, we have to stop going man-to-man, and we have to go to the zone. First of all. Second of all.
And also.
Get number 32 out the game, Collins, because he was french fried. I mean, completely.
To me, that just had more to do with him being tired.
That wasn't tired, because at the half, after they came out, they recognized, Bill Belichick, if you watch the game, I watched it again last night, you watch him on the sidelines, you watch him taking notes, which is awesome. He's literally writing down notes. They went in there and they saw that Collins was a weak link. Out of all those DBs, I would say 70% of the passes after that half went to Collins' side. Regardless, they lined up Malcolm Mitchell in the slot. They had him on Hogan. Everybody started eating good after that, and it's all on Collins.
Well, but
defensively,
that's not on Collins, because if the coach has to see that and make some adjustments, and bail that guy out, help him out, and also he needs the tarp, he needs need
a bailout package,
he need a bailout package. You got to bail out Main Street, not Wall Street, and they didn't see it that way. Todd Frank, where is Barney Todd? And so I don't understand what it was that the Falcons were. I don't understand the game the Falcons were looking at. And this is where you and I are going to differ, I feel like, is because I also put that on Matty Ice. Because.
Not Matt Ryan's fault.
You will never see Tom Brady blow that lead. You will never see Aaron Rodgers blow that lead. You'll never see Russell Wilson blow that lead. You'll never see elite quarterbacks.
Russell Wilson just blew a lead against the Cardinals. They just blew that before the end of the season.
Which was not a 25-point lead.
Yeah, but he blew the lead.
No,
against a terrible team, the Arizona Cardinals.
You cannot blow a 25-point lead.
But Matt Ryan doesn't play defense.
That's not on the defense. You know what, though? He does play defense, because you know what he does? To help the defense rest, you have to run the ball. You don't run the ball.
But guess what?
You don't run the ball just to run the ball to score.
That's not the quarterback. That's Kyle Shanahan who did that.
You're the elite MVP.
Kyle Shanahan is the offensive coordinator.
Not only did they not run the ball, they didn't dump the ball in the flats. They didn't do anything but crossing routes. They didn't stretch the ball down the field. They didn't go in the flat. No, that's Matty Ice.
No, it's not.
That's
Kyle
Matt
Shanahan.
Ice.
Kyle Shanahan is the offensive coordinator. It's his job to call the plays, and it's Matt Ryan's job to execute the plays.
Which means find the open guy. And you know what?
If you call just like when Devonta Freeman missed his block, which changed the game around.
It didn't change the game.
Yes,
I don't want to hear that. That's terrible.
Wall Street Journal even said the same thing.
They don't care about the Wall Street Journal.
Let me
It's
tell you
fake
something.
news. That's terrible work because there's no one play that changes a game when you're down 28-3.
That does change the game. For the simple
way.
fact is that they needed a defensive stop, and they got it right there.
No way.
That changed the momentum.
No way.
And not only
and
that,
they didn't get it right there because then the next play,
he fumbled.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
The next play is the play when
Hightower made
Sanu,
him fumble because Devonta Freeman did not pick up that block.
No.
Yes, he did.
No, the next play is when Sanu actually
that's not
got
true.
the yardage, and then they called it back on a hold.
True. That's not true.
All right, you say whatever you want to. This is go run back the tape.
I ran back the tape. I'm telling you. Devonta Freeman missed his block. Devonta Freeman missed his block, which got Matt Ryan blindsided, which made him fumble, which gave them the ball back.
And it was still 28-9.
But
so I don't want to hear that.
It wasn't nothing about Mohamed Sanu.
It wasn't about Mohamed Sanu. It wasn't Mohamed Sanu's fault. Mohamed Sanu caught a pass that they then in turn called holding down in the secondary.
That's not even the same situation.
We have a caller who, for some reason, you're trying to defend Matty Ice for some reason, and he's a loser. And here's the call. Is this Boston Mike of New England Patriots and New England sports fame?
Are you celebrating, dude?
Are you still popping bottles?
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. The New England Patriots and Tom Brady last night have more number one records than the Beatles and Michael Jackson combined.
And that's a lot of number one records.
That's a lot of number ones.
All right, that's 30. They broke 32 records last night. All right, listen to this. Tom Brady in the last two fourth quarters of Super Bowls against that daunted Seattle defense and against Atlanta, he has gone 36 for 42, 370 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He is Michael Jordan. He is he is Big Papi Ortiz.
Wait a minute. He's not Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was never down in the fourth quarter.
First and foremost.
Michael Jordan was celebrating in the fourth quarter.
Oftentimes, Michael Jordan didn't even play in the fourth quarter because the game was a blowout.
Well, and let me tell you, he never played a game 7. He never played a game 7.
there you go. And now let's talk about something else. With all of those records, you know why they broke all those records and why he almost threw for 500 yards and so on and so forth? Because he was getting blown out. And then he had to pass. And the Atlanta Falcons did exactly what the Atlanta Falcons have done to everybody all year, is they made you one-dimensional. And in this situation...
And then they stopped playing.
And then in this situation, they decided to not run the ball. Explain this to me. I understand that you're on the phone to represent New England Patriots, the organization. So I understand. We're going to give you time to gloat. Explain to me...
Devonta Freeman was killing them.
I mean destroying
Kevin
the
Coleman
pass.
was killing them.
Both of them.
I can't believe it. Listen, there is not enough Coca-Cola in Atlanta. To choke down that loss for them.
He sure wasn't. They got to go with the hard stuff. I don't think the soft drink gets it done. They got to go past Coca-Cola. They might need to go over to Kentucky and get some bourbon.
I told you guys at the beginning of the season, Malcolm Mitchell was a stud. That kid played big time in the second half. The Patriots, in the first half of that game, not Hogan, Bennett, Edelman, they stunk. They were the worst catching team in the NFL. They all had big drops. And listen, but in the second half, athletes make adjustments, and the Patriots made adjustments. He went 27 for 34.
No,
36
and see, this is where we disagree.
This
is where we disagree, and this is where I disagree with the incessant Tom Brady nut riding. Now, everybody, I understand yours actually is in front running because I know how committed you are to Boston sports. Committed to New England sports. So I'll never disrespect you like that, Boston Mike. But my thing is this: is that when Tom Brady threw the pick six, Tom Brady looked like a mere mortal. And you've never seen him look like that except for when the Texans confused him 3 weeks ago, by the way. And you know what? The Atlanta Falcons mismanaged the game, which is exactly what they do, which is why for the last 2 months, I said I don't believe in the Falcons. I finally jump on the Falcons train, and then the Atlanta Falcons give me the Atlanta Falcons. They give me the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ice, the moment's too big.
You knew they were going to show up sometime. You knew Atlanta was going to show up sometime. It just happened to be with 8:31 left in the third quarter. Their total yards after 8, they were up 28-3.
28-3.
They ended up at 44 yards for the rest of the game.
Wow.
44 yards for the rest of the game.
Wow, the highest octane football.
Yeah, the highest octane team in football. Man, one of the best offenses in history that I've ever seen, to be honest. And I'm not giving you the prisoner of the moment.
No,
these guys are unstoppable.
Better than that run and shoot.
When you throw out a guy like Julio Jones and you got a Mohamed Sanu as your number 2 guy, Taylor Gabriel and just your slot guy, hey man, you got problems for the defense,
problems, especially with those 2 running backs.
They threw the ball to Julio Jones 4 times and he caught all 4 passes. what the shit are they doing?
With people all over him.
What are they doing, Mike? What are they doing?
You know what they were doing? Bill Belichick was in their head.
He was.
Kyle Shanahan got his jock fucking strap wrapped around his ankles.
He did.
Wow. I missed that part of the telecast. You must have had special seats.
I can tell you. Listen, I'll tell you this, though. That was a rookie crew. The referees, they were almost impeccable. They're only the Shane McClellan, where they they said he lined up wrong to block that extra point.
Yeah.
That's the only bad call they made all night.
And that didn't even matter. I mean,
a bad call was the one to Martellus Bennett in the end zone because they said that it was pass interference because he wasn't looking or something, but he didn't make contact with him, and all he did is he had his back to the ball and he just knocked the ball down.
Either way it goes, let's be realistic. This is one situation where the officiating actually didn't determine the outcome of the game for once, which I thank them for.
That's exactly what it was. And see, the Patriots have been living and dying with this turnover thing. Tom Brady had more interceptions in the playoffs this year than he did in the regular season in 12 games.
Yeah, how crazy is that? And realistically, how about this? I wanted to lay this one on you, Boston Mike. Who needs to be thanked in this situation that everybody's busy booing is Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell gave you guys a purpose, and he gave Tom Brady 4 games off. For an old man to get 4 games off in the NFL is huge. Huge.
Sure. And it was Miami and Buffalo, which normally beat up Tom Brady pretty good, too. Yep. They were 2, and Houston also, and Arizona.
Yeah. Those are 4 games with decent defenses.
Those are all above average, top 10 defenses. And Brady would have taken a beat. So listen, we lost both quarterbacks in those games.
Yeah, that's how hard they were hitting. That's a good point. That's how hard they were sticking.
Broke his thumb. He broke his thumb.
Yep.
That could have been Brady on either one of those.
Sure could have been.
To give Roger Goodell as our 12th player.
He's the 12th man. He's the 12th man.
So listen.
He's a classic man.
I agree with you, though. It was Kyle Shanahan, man. He stunk the joint up.
He's coming right out to San Francisco with all that momentum.
Exactly.
With all that momentum.
And you know what? And I think that's what he was thinking in the second half. I think he was thinking to himself, you know what? I'm about to show off, and then this is going to enhance my contract that I'm about to pick up with the Niners and watch what I can do. And him and Danny Quinn, both of them are on the wrong side of 2 of the biggest collapses in Super Bowl history.
Right.
Now, you tell me this, and I got my own take on it, but I want to hear from both of you guys. Which one was worse? And I know you guys are obviously sports proficient. Which one is worth? No. No. Can I ask the question, Mike? Can I ask the question? Which one is worse?
Oh, it might be the Seattle because
the Warriors losing. Can I ask the question, Mike? Before you talk, can I ask you the question? Yeah. Can I ask you the question? The Warriors blowing the 3-1 lead. The Indians blowing the 3-1 lead. The Bama Roll Tide, the Crimson out there blowing their lead, or this game right here blowing the lead? Which one was worse this year?
Did you say Villanova?
And that Nova UNC was real too. That Nova was a good game.
Nova might have been the one for me.
Yeah.
I'm always going with baseball. That was terrible. It's hard to win.
Yeah. It's hard to win 3 games straight in baseball. It's hard to win 3.
No,
and you know what? And I have to say that on the flip side, I feel the same way. Actually, I think the Super Bowl one is the worst one, to be honest.
Really?
As crazy as it sounds, because for me, it's a process of elimination, right? The Warriors and the Cavs. Draymond Green got himself booted out for kicking guys in the nuts, which is unacceptable. Then Andrew Bogut got hurt. So there was a lot of doors open there to help, you know what I mean? It wasn't like there was a collapse.
Cleveland does have the best player to ever play the game.
One of them. That's true.
Not named Michael Jordan.
And so you got to give him a lot of, you can't give him opportunities. With the Cubs, the Cubs were actually a better team than the Indians. Terry Francona was putting the team together with bubble gum and duct tape. So eventually that was a potential to balance out, but there was a lot of errors, mental mistakes made by the Indians that cost them that series.
Right. Rain delay.
Yeah. Nova, when you're dealing with college, Nova, anything can happen in college. Right. They're kids. They're still not developed, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And New England versus the Patriots, New England versus Seattle a couple years ago, that was to me, that's still the best Super Bowl I've ever seen, because that game was back and forth. That wasn't, this game actually wasn't a great game. It was, two great halves.
It was a laugher in the first half.
Yeah.
Two powerhouses going at it. There was a slugging match. There was no one had a miraculous comeback, but Brady was down by 10 and came back and won that game too. That
monster game. Monster game.
The largest comeback.
And now this one though, this is a literal. I'm not trying to take anything away from Bill Belichick. I'm not trying to take anything away from Tom Brady and the rest of the gang. But I am really tired because all I hear about is rah rah sis boom ba for that whole staff and organization and every person who has a driver's license with the state of Massachusetts on it. I'm tired of hearing about that because you know what? The Atlanta Falcons did everything. It hurts me as a Raider fan because of the tuck rule.
Well, but another big point is that Tom Brady wasn't the MVP. It was James White. White.
No. Listen, I can guarantee you James White didn't get a single vote for the MVP, but he should have been the MVP.
He should have been MVP. He came when he got his shot. He came to play.
Yeah, he came to play.
LeGarrette Blunt,
not Deion Lewis, not LeGarrette Blunt.
LeGarrette Blunt rolled the blunt early. He wasn't. He looked like he smoked before the game, and it took his focus.
Oh, dude, Blunt was a non-factor. He was terrible, but he was too slow for that team. I'll give you this.
Yeah,
Atlanta to me is a very fast defensive team, but they pulled a typical Dwight Freeney. Fourth quarter, he ran out of gas. Their defense ran out of gas. They were on the field for 99 plays.
This is what I'm going to say. I'm not mad at Dwight Freeney for that. I'm not mad at. And you know what? I'm not mad at Beasley because Beasley took so much attention from on that front line, which is what allowed Jarrett and Dwight Freeney to act a fool up there. But
Beasley's not good against the pass, though. He's not that good against the pass. He's exposed a little to me. But can I say this? I think he is.
He led the league in
sacks. In the last year. All right. Yeah, in the last year, we saw a triple crown.
Yeah.
We saw Villanova win in the last second. We saw the Cubs win in extra innings. We saw Clemson
in Game 7.
The Tide, which
in Game 7 extra innings.
Yeah. We saw Clemson beat the Tide, which I absolutely loved. And then with 1 second left, and now this. It's just, to me, my heart can't take much more. My heart can't take much more.
Can we get back to normal? Jeez Louise.
I don't want to.
This is exciting stuff. This is an exciting time. And let's talk about one more thing, Boston Mike. We don't want to take up your whole day. We know you got a parade to plan. But one thing I want to talk about is, how about the accuracy of the gamblers?
Unbelievable.
There's no way to not talk about the fix. And I hate to say that because everybody that knows me knows I am a believer in sport. I am an athlete at heart. I don't want to believe any of it ever, just like I didn't want to believe guys were juicing in the whole nine. How in the world can you tell me that the spread, the point total was 59 points, and the Patriots are favored by 3 points? It takes them to overtime, but they win by 6 with the total of 62, was it? Was it 34-28?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Boston Mike teased the Pats. I brought that up to 62.5, and I was getting 3 with the Pats.
Just a little little teaser.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Pats. That 3 line was bothering me though, but it never moved. Never moved.
It started. I think it was 3.5 when it started. Like the most you could have got was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta at the start of the season was a worse bet to take than the Cleveland Browns to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Really?
Did you know that? They were 134-1. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL. And Cleveland was only 100-1.
But the thing that just blows my mind, and that's because they knew Matt Ice was going to be the quarterback, and that's why those numbers were so lopsided. And the thing that just really I just can't believe it because I told everybody and their mama I had to do a speaking engagement in Vegas this weekend, and I actually didn't get a bet down. And but I told everybody and their mom, in Vegas. And so, and I told exactly right but it's good that I didn't because I saved a couple bucks because I told everybody and their mom to bet the Falcons in the under. And boy, oh boy, was I sitting pretty at 28-3 in the third quarter. Are you kidding me?
I was sitting there myself. I had the Pats in the under, and I was actually I kept the dream alive because I'm a diehard.
Right.
I would have gone down I would have gone down with the ship. We were actually at a club, and half the people left at halftime.
Like Mark Wahlberg, my boss on Ballers.
I'm like, stay. Fair weathers. See, I'm an aluminum bench Patriots fan. we froze our asses when the Patsies. We froze our asses up. So this is I've either been in a coma for the last 17 years, and I'm in like some life support thing. And I'm going to wake up and realize that none of this actually happened.
It happened, baby.
Because
it happened.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Tremendous dynasty. And it's a two-man dynasty, if you will, to a certain degree. And it really looked grim. And a lot of premature celebration that went down for, apparently with the Falcons as well.
Yeah.
And I just, man, I there's a few things that are just unforgivable for me. Why, oh why? You're up 28-20. Why is Atlanta running plays with 25 seconds on the play clock, with the clock running, with 4 minutes left? You're up by 8 with 4 minutes left. Why are you running plays?
That's management. That's management. That's poor management.
Yeah, it's Kyle Shanahan.
But that's poor management. Matt Ice is the guy who snaps the ball, T. Yeah, you snap the ball.
But even if he snaps the ball, they have a system, and their system calls for him to do that. It's not
no
him.
system calls for you to not run down the clock. That's on you. That's on you. Can't put that's on the quarterback, man.
Yeah, well,
and those two plays aren't going to change the difference in the game.
Yeah, they are though.
Kyle Shanahan.
They are though.
Kyle Shanahan.
He scored
like
with 60 seconds left.
Kyle Shanahan.
They could have ran 2 minutes off the clock.
Before Kyle Shanahan, when they brought in Devonta Freeman after Tevin Coleman got hurt, they could have ran the ball because it was 3rd and 1.
I agree.
All they needed to do was run the ball because they couldn't stop, and that would have stopped him from losing it, from fumbling.
And you run the clock.
And you run the clock.
And you run the clock.
That's Kyle Shanahan. He's passing.
You had it on the 22-yard line when Julio Jones made that ridiculous catch.
I mean, maybe the best catch I've ever seen, period.
Definitely in the Super Bowl.
but just period. I don't even know how he how he saw the ball. If you look at the replay from his angle from behind, the ball when the defender jumps, it looks like the ball's going to hit the defender on his helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he goes over the defender, 45-inch vertical, snatches the ball, stays in bounds,
gets his 2 feet in.
Come on, man.
And has possession.
And the guy, right there, you say to yourself, he just saved the season. He just saved the season, and he just saved Matty Ice. He saved Matty Ice a career of what ifs. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't think we see the Falcons again. Because football is so ruthless. This is why what the Patriots are doing over the past, 15 years is so impressive. Is that,
they can revamp their defense.
They can.
If they revamp their defense, because the offense is still going to be there. But if they revamp their defense,
this is a real team. Atlanta's a real team.
Yeah, they're real.
They're not.
I agree.
They're not. Carolina. Carolina had the worst schedule in football last year.
Worse than the Patriots this year, who didn't play anybody?
Patriots had
the Patriots had a walk this year.
Oh yeah, we were 28th worst strength of conference. Yeah, strength of schedule. Yeah, but and I'm sorry for that.
What can you do?
Hey, it worked out well for you guys. 28, and you get to rest your quarterback for 4 games. That's geez.
Well, the thing is though, to watch Atlanta, I'm telling you right now, I walked away. Even though the coaches and Matty's ball shrunk up into his ass. And he had to pull his diaphragm out when he got off the field.
Oh, he didn't want to get pregnant.
Yeah. Listen, he's a Boston College guy. He was phenomenal at Boston College. He took a crappy Boston College team, and he had him ranked 2nd in the NCAA at one time.
And he's got cheese, by the way. He was a pitcher, and he's got gas. That guy does fuzz.
But but the thing is, though, I think that they're a legit team, and this guy's a decent coach. I just think that he tried to outsmart himself. He Pete Carrolled it.
He Pete Carrolled it, and Belichick got in his head. I think you hit it earlier. Give me a a hold on a second. Icon's got something. What
I was just saying that they went conservative. They went Republican on me.
And this is, they sure did. They went far right. They went alt-right on you. No, what's a funny thing, because that's what I put up on Twitter at the beginning of the game. I said, now, you get here blowing teams out. I mean, games aren't even close, by being aggressive. And you start the game the most conservative way that you can.
But then they ended up blowing them out anyway, and then they went conservative.
And then they went conservative. But then they went aggressive at the same time. It was just confusing.
Passive aggressive.
Somebody needed a mental evaluation. And I think we needed some meds. Somebody needed some meds. Mike, I want to give you 2 minutes. Give me a 2-minute hot take on this Patriots dynasty, the season, and then we're going to let you go.
All right. What I'm going to tell you right now is that this is the most unprecedented run since that of Napoleon. It really is in history. I'm telling you, it's just the revival of the Roman Empire. They're conquering everything. You can't. It's just impossible. This was his 10th AFC championship. I mean, come on, this is insanity. Insanity. 6 years in a row going to the AFC championship game. Who does that? Especially this is in the post, free agency with teams leave. The next year he'll have like 20 new players on that team. They wouldn't even know who he is. In the last 2 years, the 3 best defensive players left that team. Chandler Jones, Collins, and what's his name there? Revis. Remember, we couldn't do without Revis. Well, guess what? We had a kid from Southern Alabama, where the hell the kid came from, and there he is. He's better than Revis. Butler. I mean, Jesus, it amazes me. And that all comes down to the system of the coaching and what they demand of their players. These guys work harder and they work smarter than any other team. And as long as you have Belichick and Brady together, the two masterminds, it's not going anywhere. You'll see 5 more years of this, all right? So get used to it. It's just going to suck for the rest of the nation.
Oh, you letting them drag.
Yeah, you should let them drag, but I don't think that the Patriots are going back.
Well,
anymore while they're.
I think they kind of got exposed
next year.
Yeah.
No. You know who's favored this year?
Who?
For next year, the Patriots are favored to win the Super Bowl next year. They are in Vegas already. They're favored.
Wow.
There's nobody in the AFC.
Who's the AFC is terrible.
Oh, but the Raiders are on the come up.
If the Raiders and they get Alden Smith back, by the way.
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs, and if the Denver Broncos get any kind of quarterback,
but I'm going to tell you the truth. What Mike is saying has a lot of merit, and the reason it does is because what the Patriots do, the Patriots say, hey, look, we're going to play fundamental football. We don't believe that you have the discipline to play fundamental football for 60 minutes.
Yes.
We do have the discipline.
Yes.
And we recognize that in 60 minutes, if you play the game the right way, you can beat anybody. And these other teams consistently fall apart. This is going to sound terrible. I know everybody's going to kill me for this. They're not that good.
They're not.
They're really not that good.
You're just such haters.
I'm not. And listen, Mike,
no,
I love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I have rallied for Peyton Manning to not even be mentioned in the same breath as Tom Brady for a good 10 years. And so it's not that. I promise you it's not that. Even though his run and career started with a bogus call against the Raiders because Chuck Woodson showed him what time it was. And you can't deny that.
That was a payback to Sugar Bear Hamilton roughing the fucking passer.
That was 100 years ago though. But I'm talking about in the modern age. I'm talking about since Jesus was crucified. I'm not talking about before then, my friend. And so
I'm telling. I hold the grudge, my friend.
You and me both. And so it's not even that. It's just the fact that when I watch the game, just like when I watched the game and I looked at before the game, when I looked at the teams, I said, wow. I mean, it's on the ozone. I even said it. I said, wow. I mean, Atlanta should blow them out. And then they did. They proceeded to blow. They're a better team.
They're a better team.
Just like Seattle was a better team.
Just like Seattle was.
But then it comes from the upper management that hurts them.
Which really comes, this is a testament. What we're saying is a real compliment to Bill Belichick and his coaching staff, because he has a way of getting through the players and getting them to buy in that is unprecedented, and it's amazing.
Well, what's cool about that guy too is that he'll take a guy off the street.
Sure will.
One thing you guys forget right now is that we're missing the best non-quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, come on, man.
The best player in the NFL that's not a quarterback, Gronkowski.
He's not better than Julio Jones, but he's great. I agree with what you're saying, but I don't even know if Grunk's going to play anymore. Grunk seems like he's busy.
Happy.
He seems happy to get his
Very
ring
content.
and be a part of the team and do party and hang out and be the dude.
I guess so, after all the back surgeries and everything
Yeah,
else.
that
Come on,
I
man.
mean, all right, Boston Mike, you are.
All right, can I tell you one thing?
Lay it on
one
me.
thing before you go. You know who the biggest winner in that game was? It wasn't the Patriots. It wasn't Bob Kraft. It was Bennett. He's going into free agency, and he's
nice.
going to make some serious money. Marcellus Bennett, man.
Even though he went brain dead in the game.
Did.
Oh, yeah. I love him, though. I do those Mickey Mouse hands. He's like hamburger helper hands.
Hilarious.
All right, boys.
All right.
I love you guys.
Boston
We
Mike,
love you too,
we
man.
love you back, man. You are family on
We're
the
going to have to
Ozone.
talk some Celtics and my man Isaiah. So.
Oh man, is he
He's lighting
showing
it
up?
man.
This kid, jeez, Louise. Yeah, we'll get you back.
He's
We'll get you
the
back.
Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. He's the Tom
Come on,
Brady in
man.
the fourth
Oh,
quarter.
here we
There's no
go.
hurry. You always go too far, Mike. You always got to go too far. Well, we love you.
All right, guys.
Be careful out there at the
Right.
parade. Talk to you soon.
All right, have a nice, great season on the Ballers, too. All right,
Thank
brother.
you, sir.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Late.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, a fantastic contribution from Boston Mike on the Ozone. He made some wonderful points.
He always has great stats.
He has great stats and analysis, even if he embellishes at times. But I mean,
Yeah, he's
it's
gotta
hard to
prove his
fight
point.
with rings. It is
Yeah.
really hard to fight the Lord of the Rings. Frodo is out there, and he lives in New England. I thought he lived in New Zealand, but Frodo lives in New England. Who knew? The Lord of the Rings. So does Gandalf. Unbelievable. And what else is unbelievable is the deal that you can get at the 5-4 Club. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate your Super Bowl win or drown your Super Bowl blues with a nice discount by using promo code OMAR at the 5-4 Club. Go to 54club.com, get yourself signed up to receive a monthly box of clothes worth more than $200, specially tailored and curated to your style for only $65 a month. Now, that number's going to drop for you for the first couple months because you signed up with promo code OMAR. Enjoy your life. Enjoy yourself. 5-4 Club. Take on the world. Wow. I mean, I'm spent. I can't. I watched that game.
Already. Did you play?
I feel like I played. But I
didn't see you out where did you have the dreads? The Predator.
That was
You
me.
had the Predator.
I got tired in the fourth. I wasn't in shape. I did all I could to guard Hogan. Come to find he is fast. Who knew?
That's why Tom picked on you.
It was me that Tom picked on. Oh my goodness. Great day on the Ozone. I mean,
40 minutes they had the ball. 40 minutes, 31 seconds to 23-27.
they literally did everything wrong.
But this is what you have to do to beat a team like them.
You talked about that.
You have to keep the ball out of their hands.
But we thought both surmised that
LeGarrette
that it was going to be a running game that keeps it out of his hands.
But I think that's what their plan was until LeGarrette Blount looked like he wasn't prepared.
He did not look
And
like
Bill
a Patriot.
Belichick is not the guy.
He's not playing around with you.
That he'll make the adjustment inside of the game, and that's the difference between him and the other coaches. Because we saw Shanahan and Quinn, they didn't make the adjustments, and they paid the price.
Sure did.
You can't have a 25-point lead and lose the game. It's unforgivable.
You just can't.
Yeah,
not that late in the game.
No, not that late.
It's not like you put up 25. It's not like it was 28-3.
points.
It's not like it was 28-3 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
This was 28-3 in the halfway through the third quarter.
Because
This is worse than the Bills collapse.
Yeah, because Atlanta shut down the run. They shut down LeGarrette Blount. Even when Deion Lewis, they brought him in there. James White didn't really run.
No.
You're talking about...
No, he caught balls in the flat.
Yeah, they call him dinking and dunking, doing drag routes and slants and everything else. That's why he should have got the MVP, because the yards after the catch.
He actually changed that for them, because what Atlanta was doing that was awesome was Atlanta was, even if they were, I was amazed by their strip ability, by the way, and not just their chips and strips with LeGarrette Blount. A little guac, a little salsa, but not even that. I'm talking about from the defenders. When the defenders are knocking balls down, it looked like they were caught and they were getting knocked down. Now, one thing that was enormous that I don't think is getting enough credit is Julian Edelman gave Tom Brady his confidence.
He sure did, because Tom Brady looked like a broken man.
He looked like he had the broken spirit.
And so did Kraft, and so did Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick looked confused. For the first time I've ever seen Bill Belichick look.
He was standing on the sideline like, what in the hell is going on?
Wow, he just kept looking at he looked at his board like, what are we supposed to do now?
What are we supposed to do? They're going crazy on us.
They open up a can of whoop ass. Oh shit, close it. Close the can. Yeah, no, but and
they look completely confused.
And Edelman looked like he just said, "Not me. I'm not the one.
I didn't come out here. I'm ready.
I didn't come out. I just had a kid. I didn't come out here to lose. I'm not Wes Welker."
Tom was missing passes in the flats. He missed him wide open on a crossing
for like
route.
30 yards, he missed him wide open.
Yeah, and a couple of guys, Hogan, but he came out there with the stone hands. He came out there with the Roberto Durans. You know,
Mano de Pedro. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't look ready.
Yeah,
let's hear what another New England supporter has to say, because unfortunately we got to take our medicine today.
Yeah, you got to eat it. You know, I like my crowed roasted lightly with a little bit of truffle oil. Lightly seasoned, flavorful.
Big O, what's going on?
Trucker Dave, live in the Ozone. Congratulations. We know you're a big New England supporter, and wow is all we can say. We've been on the mic now for probably about 40 minutes, just recapping what I feel like is the biggest choke job in the history of professional sports.
I think you and a lot of other people.
But give me your take, because you always have such a special analysis. Give me your take overall of the game, overall of where Brady and Belichick are. Just lay it on us.
Only thing I can really say is, just like the rest of the world, I was just like, wow, I've never, ever seen anything like this. That 3rd and 2 where they had Matt Ryan go back. I mean, if I'm San Francisco, I might just rescind that contract that I just offered.
I really have to at least reconsider.
I might have to reconsider, because if you get them down, you got to put them out. I mean, I don't understand the consensus of what are you trying to prove? You have a lead and you only have like a little bit of time left. All you need to do is just stay in field goal range. You got a really good field goal kicker. Why do you have Matt Ryan dropping back?
And why dropping back so far?
Yeah, you got him in a 7-step jog, and they're still shocked that they're beating the Patriots, but they're kind of like, in a sense, celebrating before the game's over.
You just hit the nail on the head. You know what's funny? We just talked to Boston Mike, and Boston Mike said that Belichick got in their head. And you know what? I actually agree with your point even more. They were shell-shocked that they were winning the game. They were shell-shocked that how easily they were winning the game, because they were dragging the Patriots. They were blowing them out.
Just like they've done everybody else in the league. You can't stop it.
Yeah, they were doing that. Now, in Aaron Rodgers' defense, 7 seconds left. Look at what Aaron Rodgers did against Dallas, and he had about the same amount of time. And when he got it, and Matt Ryan, you know what? You got to back up right there, because I don't really want to blame it on Matt Ryan. But what I do want to say is, this guy that took the kickoff and put them in bad field position, that ran out on the 11-yard line.
Oh, this buffoon. What are you doing?
Why did you do that?
Take the ball on the 25. That's another piece. There were so many small things
that turned out to be big things.
That they had to literally do everything wrong to lose a 28-3 lead halfway through the third quarter. You have to do everything wrong.
Right.
And the Patriots didn't do everything right. They missed missing that point after, right. I thought was going to end up being, even at the time, in my mind, I thought, they might end up losing 28-27 behind that.
Well, that was the same reason the Ravens let Devin Hester go earlier in the season, because he did something silly like that by catching a ball on the 2 or whatever instead of letting it roll in the end zone. You can't do stuff like that. You
can't do it against great teams that are well coached in any sport.
You can't do that, man. I mean, that field position at that time is so critical. There's only a few people like Aaron Rodgers and the Bradys, and that's why Matt Ryan got his nickname Matty Ice, because he's known for closing out games. But I think the moment got a little bit too big. But then again, I wasn't really blaming it on him. I was looking upstairs and looking on the sidelines, because they can't commit those penalties like they were committing.
That's another piece nobody talks about. As a Raider fan, those penalties come back to hurt you. Come on, man. Even in this situation where they had 3 third-down situations where they got called for holding in the secondary.
Yeah.
And then the defense actually showed up, and that's when they got the pick 6. So they even atoned for those sins, if you will. But that penalty, when Mohamed Sanu caught the 10-yard pass to put them back into field goal range, the hold, which they then lost 10 yards and replayed the down, and then when they replayed the down, they got a sack where they lost 10 more yards. That's what put them out of range, and this was just a situation where it's an accumulation of things that come from premature celebration, a lack of preparation and discipline that ultimately has Atlanta at the house. And I was just saying, I don't think that Atlanta's coming back. I think that football, one of the reasons why Belichick and Brady are being so celebrated is because it's so hard to put together a dynasty in football because of injuries and because of everything like that. It's almost impossible to come back from a loss like this.
Well, and you have to look at, too, you play in the NFC, so there's no guarantees.
That's a good point. You play in the harder conference.
Yeah, what is there in the AFC? You're looking at Big Ben calling every radio station talking about retiring. Who do you have? Ryan Tannehill. I just don't see too many threats in the AFC. You got Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's not serious.
Cleveland, who's looking for a quarterback. So, if you're Brady and Belichick, you can say, hey, man, we can at least get to one or two more of these Super Bowls.
At least.
We like our chances because the NFC beats up on each other. And then
it's kind of like the Western Conference in basketball.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's going to be a time, and in that, I agree with you. I think they get back to one or two of them. And there's going to be a time to really cash in because the Patriots now are going to always be favored. I don't care if they're playing the friggin' 86 Giants.
Right.
I don't care if they're playing the 85 Bears. The Patriots and Tom Brady are going to be favored. I don't care how old he is or whatever. And there's going to be a time to cash in because there's got to be a smart coordinator somewhere who watches the tape and says, these guys are actually very beatable. You play the full 60 minutes.
Okay, but then again, you have to look at the future, too. You have to look at the future. You have rumored teams like Cleveland offering maybe a first and a second round for Garoppolo. You got the Chicago Bears that may get in an offer that. You got San Francisco that might offer. Somebody might make him an offer of, hey, I'll give you a first and a second round draft pick. You take those two picks, and now you can fix your defense. And now you can get an outside pass rusher that you need on the corner. Or you might get a guy you need on offense or something like that. So that's huge. You really and when you keep winning, you have to look at more free agents are going to want to come here and possibly like Chris Long and just come and play for less and get a ring.
Yeah.
So you're always in the mix.
Had dinner with Chris Long around this time last year in Miami at Prime 112. And we had a great conversation. I'm really, really happy for his success. We talked about his time in St. Louis. He's a really great person. Did you see that special on him where he went and he posed like a homeless person out in front of the stadium?
Oh, no.
Oh, man, no. This is really – you guys got to find – I got to find where this is. So he goes out and poses like he's a homeless person staying in front of the stadium where his picture is on the side of the stadium. And people are treating him like garbage. And it was unbelievable.
And you know what?
And we spoke about
I like about him. Yeah, he when you listen to Boston radio and he calls in and he's just talking about, yeah, I'm just driving to practice right now. I'm in my regular Jeep. And you could just, the way that he talked and the way he spoke, he just seems like a regular, a guy that you can identify with, just like regular Joe.
Howie and them did a good job with him.
Howie and them, good. Yeah, that's a real testament to his upbringing there. But
I don't know why the Rams got rid of him.
I don't either, to be honest. No, we're a little premature. Well, but look at the situation. Why did the Patriots get rid of Jamie Collins? Why did they get rid of Chandler Jones? Almost doesn't count. It's just unbelievable that they came back. They win this game. I don't want to say it was fixed. Joel Embiid put out a tweet that was I trust the process. This guy is fantastic. Joel Embiid put out a tweet that said, "Are you kidding me? I forget this. This is absolutely rigged. They're up 25 and they don't run the clock out. Are you kidding me? Can you tell me, Trucker Dave, why, as much as everybody, you and T-Bone feel the same way, you guys want to absolve Matt Ryan from this, but in real life, if you want to call somebody elite and give them MVPs, none of the elite quarterbacks are losing a 25-point lead with a quarter and a half left in the game. Why is Matt Ryan snapping the ball when they're up 8 in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes left? Why is he snapping the ball with 22 and 23 seconds on the play clock when the clock is running? Why?
You know what? First of all, in his defense, they have an up-tempo offense. Sometimes what could be your detriment is you don't know when to slow it down. When they went fast, it caused the Patriots problems. You could see their defense was gassed. But what you got to do is what I like what New England does is whatever's working, that's what we're going to stay with. So DeMonte Freeman's running the ball good on stretch plays. That's what we're going to keep doing. We don't have to pass the ball You know, you see when LeGarrette Blount fumbled, they went away from LeGarrette Blount.
So far away, he didn't even get any more snaps.
I don't even think he was in the stadium anymore.
They escorted. He was back in New England.
I saw him serving peanuts and everything.
LeGarrette Blount led the league in touchdowns this year. He had more than Ezekiel Elliott. He had at least 18 touchdowns. So once he fumbled,
great point.
He lost Bill Belichick, and that's why Bill Belichick. You're gonna tell me inside the 5-yard line where you got the ball, you're gonna give the ball to James White instead of LeGarrette Blount? He couldn't take that chance on him coughing it up again.
Right.
So that's just showing you that they changed their game plan during the game to fit whatever's working. It's not ego-based at all.
Well, you know what? One of my problems, though, especially with James White, the other teams don't recognize, James White doesn't pass block. You know what he's there for. You know what he's there for. Put somebody on him. Go to the flats. Look for him on a quick slant.
This is personnel. This is
the coach.
Is team awareness and the coach having his guys prepared. When you have to tell your guys, hey, look, when this guy comes in, they're running these plays.
They're going to run a wheel. They're going to do something.
Yeah. So stay awake. But now back to your thing. One thing I say, we're ego, because we've all seen Bill Belichick's ego get the best of him in games from time to time. And this game, I thought that it had bit him in the ass once again, because he came out and thought he was going to pass all over the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
And
nobody in the backfield
shut down. They went out there and got shut down for 3 quarters and got embarrassed. Now, to his testament, he made adjustments, but I can only give you so much credit for the adjustments, because they dropped into a 2-minute offense basically for the whole last 19 minutes of the game, more or less, or what is that? 24 minutes of the game, 23 minutes of the game. And for some reason, none of Dan Quinn's people decided to adjust to the 2-minute by dropping into a zone or mixing up coverages. Instead, you just let your guys get totally and completely gassed.
Right.
I'm not even mad at the Falcons defense, to be honest.
You can't be on the field that long. That's ridiculous. I don't care if you're 85 Bears.
It's true.
Or 86 Giants.
And that comes again,
you know what?
Run the football. Don't stop running because it gets stuffed one time. What are you doing?
5 times in the second half.
That's what Bill Belichick is he's gonna go back and look and see when he goes towards the draft. I need to get players that are fast on defense, because it exposed his defense, because he didn't play a team that had that kind of speed on defense, and that's why the Falcons weren't blitzing. They were just rushing with 4, but they were getting to him because they had speed on defense.
He played a team that had speed on D like that, and they beat him.
Yeah.
And it was the Seattle Seahawks, and they went to Foxborough and they served up the New England Patriots. And this was like a replay of that.
Yeah, just get physical with them.
But the speed, I'm with Trucker Dave. The speed is essential.
Yeah, and that's the game evolving, turning to more like an arena style of play, because before, now everybody's in the nickel. You got all those DBs out there. You don't have as many linebackers, or even the middle. If you have a middle linebacker who's like the quarterback of defense out there, like a Ray Lewis was, you can change the whole game. But now everybody.
That guy played well for Atlanta yesterday,
yeah,
middle linebacker.
Yeah.
What's his name? 45. What was his name?
I don't remember his name.
Is his name White? I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about, Dave?
I know what you're talking about.
I know. Who was that? Jones?
Jones. That was it. Jones.
But not 32.
He played well.
Not Collins. Collins got burnt. I mean, whew.
Hey, let me tell you something. That cornerback, number 23, he's got a future, man.
Alfred. Man, that dude balled.
I was impressed, man.
I think this is his first year.
He balled.
Yeah.
And you know what they did? They actually were very, very Belichickian and Patriots in their defense for the first 3 quarters, in that if they gave up a pass, they limited the yards after the catch. There was never any big plays where it was like, uh-oh, here they go. There was a bunch of small plays, and they said, okay, you know what, we'll be aggressive. But then when they do catch the ball, let them get 6, let them get 5, let them get 6. And this is what boosted up Tom Brady's numbers. And Tom Brady, to his credit, later in the second half, started taking what the defense gave as opposed to trying to force, because that's how he ended up with the pick 6. Thanks for joining us on the Ozone.
Ozone.